I wanted to give some words of encouragement to people out there who are having a hard time. Specifically, we were challenged by one person who is doing a lot of interviewing to become a doctor. And I know there's a lot of other people out there who are working hard and doing their very best. And thank you for sticking with it. Yeah. It's always like, whenever you're going through hell, the only choice is to keep going through it, right? In a lot of cases.
The one of the things that got me through most of my like hell classes and stuff was the concept of sometimes the only way out is through.
Yeah. Yeah. Because sometimes the other way out is you can stop doing it and you can make huge changes to your life and you can make other decisions to do that too. But sometimes those aren't really options. And I do think that, there's the sense of, it's important to try to do the things, obviously, but if the things are causing you a lot of stress, then it is okay to take a step back and reassess.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
There's I'm trying to remember where I heard them say it, but it was the couple that made later Alligator, Small Butera. They were talking about the scary process of making a video game. They'd never made a video game before. And what they said was, there were many moments where they thought, oh, I don't want to do this. This is so scary and weird, and I don't feel that I can. But anytime you feel that feeling, that is a wall that if you can press to the other side of that wall, you will have changed and grown. And so they have learned it as just a creative team to see that sort of resistance and that dread of having to work on something and not feeling like you can do it as an opportunity to grow.
And that doesn't mean you take every opportunity you run into. Yeah. Sometimes you choose not to, but being able to make that choice from a distance where you're like, yes, I know what I'm choosing there. Yeah.
I'm still experiencing that. And when earlier in the year, when I kept running into these, as an example, the whole thing about the fact that the Linear Run can't sell things to the UK and the EU is something where I'm like, I know that we can do this. I know it's possible. I know people are doing this all the time. But I know that we're also in a unique state because it's not like we're selling, 500 grand in merch every month all over the world to all sorts of different places, that we are just a huge deal. We're not a huge deal merch wise. Merch is a great piece of what it is that we do, and we appreciate people buying our merch. But I have to be able to balance, the workability of that. And every time I ran into a problem with how am I going to get this to work, and I'm doing research and learning things and writing letters and asking people questions and doing all this stuff, and I keep hitting a wall over and over, I would just run into the same thing of, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't know how to deal with it, so I don't want to do it. And eventually I realized that's fear getting in the way of, the problem is not, for me, was not that I didn't want to do it. The problem was I didn't want to do it wrong.
Yeah.
Right. And that's a huge problem that I'd had for years upon years. And it's realizing again, it's like, hey, remember when you were a kid and that same thing happened where you were like, you were always doing things right the first time because it was easy and you were flying through that. And as you got older, you realized that was not the case. Schoolwork was now a lot more difficult, or things were changing, and all this that kind of stuff was happening. It's like, and you were afraid of doing things wrong, and then you just start turning in work that wasn't that good because you're like, well, if I'm going to do it wrong anyways, might as well all be wrong, and that kind of thing. And I'm like, right, it's the same thing again. Just, it's okay to see it, realize it, run into it, and be like, just keep pushing. You're going to learn how to do this, and it's going to come out the right way. Yeah, and it's gifted kid syndrome. I was a gifted kid when I was a kid, so.
I don't remember. Remind me, what is it they say about fear?
Here's the mind killer.
Yeah,
in the box. They put it in the box.
And I was asking Beej this time.
Oh,
I thought it might be a nice time to rope Beej into our
Doom I'm sorry.
Fear is the mind killer. Feel is the.
I actually thought I was saying it wrong.
Yeah.
No, you
get which one it is most.
I shall not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Feel is the little death that leads to total obliteration. I shall look upon my fear and look past it, and on the other side, there will be nothing, only I will remain. Very close to that. Almost have the whole thing.
I bet that scan's different in French.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sorry,
probably.
We're a child-friendly stream. Never
yeah,
mind.
the little death, yes. Right, I will face my fear, I'll permit it to pass over me and through me. And I like that idea too of let it pass over you and through you. It's like it shouldn't have to stop you. You should just be able to be like, okay, feel the feelings. It's okay to feel the feelings and let them move through you, because when you don't spend time feeling the feeling, you spend time running away from the feeling. And it's so hard to convince yourself that I need to feel this bad feeling right now, because nobody wants to do that.
Nobody wants to
likes
feel
bad feelings.
sad or
Afraid.
angry or afraid or things that kind of get you like really tense feeling with your like
Yeah.
But
I also
it's not a bad thing to feel through those feelings either.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also saw we have an Alex in chat.
Hi, Alex.
Stacy in chat, and he put a good thing in that says, "Never give up doesn't mean don't steer." And like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I really like that. It doesn't mean just keep slamming your head against the same
Foot on
wall.
pedal, I know, go.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex.
Hi, Alex.